Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Adelpha Lorenzano. If you don't know who I am the director of Title V 2020. And I'm going to go ahead and let my other two presenters introduce themselves as we get started.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sue Vang, and I am the Title V Career Development Counselor. I'm located at Dinuba High School a few days out of the week and also in the Career and Employment Center a few days.
And good morning, everyone. My name is Gil Torres. I am the Career and Exploration Counselor here for Title V, Reedy College.
Thank you both. And Taylor was unable to join us this morning, but she is our Applied Learning Coordinator for Title 519. So thank you for joining us once again. We wanted to be able to provide a session to give an overview of what the Title Fives have been able to do here at Reedley College since their existence. I just stated I'm part of Title V 2020, which is the grant that I oversee. But we also have a Title V 19 grant. And so with that one, we are currently in our current extension year. It should have expired September 30th of 24, but we have an extension year because of COVID. We were unable to spend down all the funds. And so with that, just kind of explaining what the differences are. So we have two different grants, 2 different years, each are 5-year cycles, but we are currently in an extension year for Title 519. So why our office? You see the logo. We established an office space here at Reedley College. So when the Title Fives came together, we returned back to campus in 2021, which is when I started with the grant. Myself and Dr. Gurpreet Bogle, who was serving as the coordinator at the time for Title 519, just started talking about some things. We were attending sessions online, learning more about what it meant to be an HSI. I knew we were a Hispanic serving institution. I knew that, but never really delved into what it truly meant. And so started digging into our history, started realizing these grants are specifically for schools that were designated as Hispanic serving institutions, which means is that we serve a student population of over 25% or more of Hispanic Latino students. This is a designation bestowed upon us by the U.S. Department of Education. So with that, we're like, well, okay, number one, we're both HSI grants. Both of us former classified professionals knew that there was going to be some work that we were not going to have assistance on, and so decided to help one another. And then we started seeing commonalities in our grant goals and objectives. And we thought, you know what? We are going to join forces and we're going to work together collaboratively, cohesively. How can we help one another out? Whereas in the past, things had been really siloed with other grants. And so we really wanted to partner and really come together and be more effective for our students. Thus, the Office of HSI Initiatives was born. And so we've been very pleased with the outcomes. We've been very diligent in trying to provide additional information about what it means to be an HSI. And let's make it very clear, because we are an HSI does not mean that we do not serve other students. Um, Quite the contrary, it's for all students. So, but this designation is something that we have been struggling with, and I know Sue will cover a little bit more about that shortly. But this is something we've been struggling with as an institution. And since our work has begun, we're very proud of the fact that we are now able to identify as an HSI that really is diligent about highlighting that. So with that, we'll go on and move on to the next slide. Sorry, as I transition here. So I kind of just already discussed how we came together, but we decided to create a vision and mission for our office, obviously to provide a centralized location for our HSI programs that are dedicated to our students here on campus and to broaden that knowledge, what it means to be a serving institution. Our mission, of course, was to uphold the Title V grants and their goals and objectives to implement institutional change and to provide an opportunity to support a meaningful and sustainable office dedicated to the campus and community it serves.
Okay. And then I'm just kind of sharing and being in this role as a Title V 2020 Career Development Counselor. I've always heard that Reedy College is a HSI, but I didn't really know what it meant. being in the role, I learned again, as Adelpha kind of shared, that Reedley College has more than 25% of our students that identify with being Hispanic. And we actually have currently 74% of our HI of Hispanic student. And then nationally, HSI is enrolling 66.1% of all Hispanic undergraduate students. Okay. And being in this role, I've learned that, as Adelpha mentioned, it's not just for Latinx students, it's for all students too. And again, there was no cultural identifiers on campus regarding us being HSI, and only mentioned HSI was during our accreditation visit. Now we have a logo, and as you can see, it's there. It's also on our website now, and our college has been overcoming our hidden identity. And again, we've been at HSI since 1992. That's like over 30 years. And Reedley College has been transforming into more of a serving institution for the HSI population and students here. Go to the next slide. One of the things that we've been doing is that we've been collaboratively advocating for identity. Some of those are we've created our HSI website, along with having our HSI week, several events, collaborate with several individuals on campus and creating this on our campus. We also have a district-wide Title V district-wide collaboration. We also have a HSI work group. We've also presented at ASI and in sharing a lot of the work that we've been doing at Reedley College. And then Colegas is another conference that we have done presentations at in regards to the work that we've done. We've attended Haku. We also funded and supported students in attending the Haku Student Internship Workshop. Oh, that's actually here on campus that we had on campus and sharing with students about this opportunity. We had a Padres como Compañeros conference and educating our parents at our for our students at our partner high school sites in regards to how they can support their children and continue their education. And then I believe it was Title V 2018, where we had the Maestro Conference with Fresno State here at Reedley College. As you can see, we also had one of the flyers there is SACD HSI Serving Us Matters, a panel discussion with all the presidents, because all of the State Center Community College District campuses are HSIs, and hearing from them and what they're doing at their campus. Again, the Padres Como Compañeros conference. This was last spring on February 3rd. These are the different collaborations that we had within the campus. And our theme was Sowing Seeds of Change. And again, our website in regards to the office at HSI and all of our Title Fives are also listed on this site too for you guys to see. You guys want to add anything else, Adafa, Gil?
I just want to identify, many may not be familiar with the acronyms.
Yeah.
ASI is the Alliance of Hispanic Serving Institution Educators. And many of you may have heard of HACU, but it is the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities. So I just want to make sure that that's identified. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sue.
So I think Sue touched on it. I think the key word is collaborative. And I think a big part of what our office does is we want to work with every aspect of this campus. And as you guys can see on the PowerPoint slide, there are several different offices. Obviously, if you've been to the Career and Transfer Center, we, redeveloped this area from what it was from the STEM office to what it is now, making it more inclusive for students to come, our tables, having sofa set up for students, just making it a more inviting environment for students to either get ready for transfer or get ready to do their career exploration. College relations and outreach, and a slide that I'll eventually get to later, but we've also been really big on working with our high school partners as well in terms of helping with that transition to Reedley College. I know Sue's part is with the computer science and information systems. With what she's been doing with Ainua High School. The other area is our IT department, having students get into internships, working with that office. Early college office, I know I previously mentioned, we've been working closely with a lot of our high school partners in relation to the career goals that Title V has. Faculty and staff affiliations, the BSFA, PISFA, LFSA, we've been really big on working with these groups as well because of who we reach out to with what the work that we're doing. The guided pathways and success teams, what is it that we're doing for our Hispanic students or all students in general to provide them the best opportunities of side diversity, equity, inclusion, professional learning, collaboration. I'm currently really working, especially with the STEM conference coming up, STEM 2022, and our MESA programs, our student activities. So as you can see, a lot of these different areas, we are very big on being a part of them because our goal is to support students in every aspect of this college. Delpha, Sue, I'm not sure if there's anything else that you wanted to add.
No, I think you covered it. And please, anyone, if you do have questions, please raise your hand and we will answer your question as soon as we can during the presentation. So I described the acronyms to some of the organizations in which we attended their conferences, but Reedy College is really, well, the Office of HSI has really tried to represent Reedy College to the best of its ability at these conferences, which I will point out have been not attended or very rarely attended. Um, we first attended OSCE in 2022, and that was with Title 519. It was at the time Kimberly Mullins was representing Title 519, and also Hema Ortega was representing Title 518 at the time. And we attended this conference for the first time, and we were all in awe at this point. We had just had a Flex Day presentation by Dr. Gina Garcia 2 months prior, and this was in January of 22, and then we attended the conference in March of 22, and we were able to meet her, able to get more of an idea of what it meant to be an HSI and how to serve our students. But we actually presented the following year. We had 4 presentations at OSCE, and I'm not sure if many of you are aware of that, but we represented in all areas how we established the office, how we were helping the Career Center, how we were establishing all these different programs. So we had 4 different presentations. The following year we did attend, we had 1 presentation at the time, and this is where I was able to actually go with a student, and she and I represented Reedy College and had the view of a student perspective pertaining to HSIs. And so that was really exciting to be able to share that experience with a student from our campus. We were able to also have representation at the Asian Pacific Americans in Higher Education Conference, and that was APAHI, in which Sue and Dr. Sarah Makosi, who was representing Title 519 at the time, were able to present on their experiences of what it meant to be Asian Pacific Islanders at an HSI. So we had a different perspective, and I think that really speaks volumes to how we were able to support various groups on our campus and move forward. Colegas is the organization by the California Community College Chancellor's Office focusing on Latinx community college educators. We actually presented there as well. We presented in 2023. And then I also had the privilege of being a webinar presenter last fall and just highlighting the work that's been done here at Reedy College. We've also presented at the Higher Education Student Affairs in the Central Valley Conference at Fresno State. We had been in attendance 2 years prior, and we attended and presented last year with Dr. Jesus Vega and Dr. Gurpreet Bogle and myself representing Reedy College. And actually, that was a take on what was done at the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity in American Higher Education, which was NCORE. Dr. Gurpreet Bogle, Dr. Darlene Murray, Juliana Martinez were able to represent our campus and really highlight the work that's been done here. And then also we have attended Haku for the last 3 years. This is a conference that had been kind of gotten hiatus, but we've been a Haku member since the 90s and when it became an organization because of our HSI designation. And let's see, attended Strengthening Student Success Conference, and actually had a presentation at the RAFS conference last year as well. So as you can see, we've really tried to diversify our presentations and really tried to represent Reedley College to the best of our ability, and but just highlighting our work that we've had done here.
Besides just representing Reedley College, at these conferences and attending them to gain professional development, we actually had the opportunity due to Title V funds able to provide professional development for faculty here at Reedley College. Last fall, we had Aspira, Empowering Scholars Program, a culturally relevant career readiness program in educating and training counselors, mostly the pathway counselors. And we also invited Fresno State, some of their, I'm trying to remember what groups, definitely you can help me, come and learn on how to help our students learn how to craft their story in sharing themselves during interviews. And so that was a really great opportunity for us to help students kind of market themselves for the employment in the workforce. We also had Dr. Christopher Emden back in January 23 share about culturally responsive education, reaching the soul to teach the mind. He was able to kind of share some insights on his practices with not only um, counselors, but also instructional faculty and how they can culturally include practices into their curriculum. And then we also had our annual, one of our members attended annual online teaching conference back in 2023. I had the opportunity of attending the National Career Development Association Global Conference back in 2022. And again, I'm so thankful for this opportunity being in the role that I'm in. From this conference, I was able to create these after school sessions at Dinuba High School where I invite local professionals share about their experiences in being in education, going to education, and then going out to the workforce. And then one of our other colleagues, Taylor Caldera, created the Applied Learning for Faculty Canvas course in educating our faculty here on how they can have applied learning within their curriculum too.
I just want to
Mm,
add,
okay.
just keeping in mind, this is not all necessarily us by
Mhm.
ourselves as a Title V or Office of HSI, but in partnership, which we highlighted in an earlier slide. We do try to make sure to identify that we have partnered. And so in some of the pictures, you can see that. So we just want to make sure to identify the fact that these have been done in partnership, not necessarily on our own
Mhm.
as an HSI office. One of the other things that we've really tried to look at was how can we provide opportunities for our students. So oftentimes, many of our grants historically have really focused on our administration, our faculty. One thing I do want to highlight that we have taken classified professionals and students are provided those type of opportunities for them as well. We try to be very inclusive with the work. And so one of the things that we did focus on was providing these professional opportunities for our students. And one of them, and one of our first, was to provide the funding for Dr. Barbara Oakley, who spoke at the 2023 State Center Tutor Expo. And so this was just a cause that I felt was very necessary and justifiable because it was addressing the needs for our students and getting our tutors ready to address those needs and to help their peers succeed. Um, this past November, I was able to take 4 student employees to the Adelante Student Leadership Institute at Haku. And it was just an amazing opportunity. Did not realize it had been 17 years since we even had the opportunity to take students at all. So we were considered a sponsor because we sponsored the students in attending this particular conference. But we were just so excited because we were able to see the students and their expression. I mean, they just felt so valued and they just came back with a wealth of information, which they will be actually presenting. They don't know this yet, but we'll be presenting to student experience and to the student services work group in the upcoming month. Um, we were also able to have an student employee training on Canvas that has just been developed by Taylor Caldera. It's not gone live yet, but she is working on having it go live, hopefully by the end of the month. But this is to help our students with the onboarding process. Oftentimes we just provide, we get their NeoGov set up. They're like provided their hours. We confirm that they've got their units in place to qualify to work for our campus. And then they are provided videos by our district office, but we're not really providing them the hand-in-hand support so that they feel like an actual employee, and then just providing them that extra support that they need. We also had the faculty and staff and student mentoring program set up by prior to Taylor. I know that Dr. Sarah Makosi started working on this, and I want to say in collaboration with Amanda Tainter as well. We've supported the we employed students for the summer music camp, which was hosted by Title V, or funded by Title V 19. So we had also the STEM camp in which I hired the students in collaboration with Title 522 STEM in providing that support for the STEM summer camps. And then with that, I've also had the opportunity to employ students to work with IT. So many of you probably didn't even realize that those students were actually hired by Title V 2020. But in all, I've been able to hire at least 45 students and give them the opportunity to work across campus in various capacities. So whether it be at the STEM conference, whether it be with IT, whether it be tutoring our students at Dinuba High School, we've provided 45 student opportunities across the board while we've been in existence here at Raleigh College. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with my notes here. So with Title 519, I'm currently not the direct supervisor, but I just see the everyday operations. Dr. Jesus Vega serves as the current director of the grant as he oversees it, as Dr. Capri Bogle did move on to another position at Clovis. But we just wanted to be able to highlight the grant objectives. And so you can have a better idea of what the focus was of this particular grant. And so it does have a long title, as you can see, Scaling Applied Learning to Guided Pathways Through Career Exploration, Applied Learning, and Student Engagement. As you can see, there was 4 different objectives, and that's how we're able to tie in all of the work that's been done on campus. Focusing on degree completion, also focusing on transfer level English and math, focusing on how we can decrease the number of units for our students, and also supporting students to transfer to a 4-year university, all with a career focus, or majority with a career focus. So as you can see, this is what has been able to justify the work that's been done across the board.
So with that, some of those activities of Title V 2019 highlights with the completed remodel projects would be the place, also known as the professional learning and collaboration environment. That was due to Title V 2019 that the place is in existence, and it's located in the library if you guys haven't been out there. Also, our Career and Transfer Center, if you guys haven't been out here, it's also been remodeled too as well. Um, a part of the Title V 2019, we had to also provide financial literacy. We had over 1,742 students who completed and earned their financial literacy certificate. We also increased offerings of workshops and professional development opportunities. That's in collaboration with the Career and Employment Center providing Pathful Connect events. We also support the annual job fair, summer job fair, and fall spring experience fair. Wanted to share that it was due to Title V 2019 that we had our first experience fair and have been having it for the past, I think it's going to be three years now, 2. And then we also supported with the creation, facilitation, and participation in the alternative assessment towards skills mastery, and that was a summer course. Um, Again, support transfer fair and transfer recognition ceremony. Some of the items that were done that day was a part of Title V 2019. They also provided student employee training along with the faculty and staff student mentoring program. Those are some of the highlights of Title V 2019. Anything else want to add? No? Because of 2019's efforts, and because of 2019's efforts, we always want to talk about how we're going to sustain these things. So, like I shared, the experience fair is something that we've never had at Ridley College, and with Title 2019, they were able to start it. And we've had it for several years. And again, that provides that service learning, applied learning, work-based learning showcase. Um, and this was our first one that we had. Um, Now it's been institutionalized, and the Career and Employment Center is taking on this task along with our professional headshots. That's something else because it costs students, especially you want to have those good headshots for social media sites, LinkedIn, the professional one site too. And then we also had our graduation photos because it can cost a lot of money for our students. So by providing that for our students, we're able to give them that opportunity to kind of highlight their successes and also be ready for the workforce. And again, we've supported the college with the Tiger Job Fair and the resources needed in there too. And then I'll go ahead and let Gil share more.
Right. So I know Sue had mentioned Pathful Connect, and I think that was one of the biggest areas, at least for me as a counselor, is how can we connect our students? And I know many of us work in the area. We know a lot of our students don't get exposed to a lot career-wise. Meeting grant goals, the biggest thing was how can we connect our students to professionals throughout the country? And this is where we have our job tool in Pathful Connect. Pathful Connect connects educators and learners with network industry professionals. So it provides Reed College students with live industry connections. So for an example, as you can see on the PowerPoint slide, these are 4 different examples of who we brought in. So related to the ag and natural resources, we brought an animal embryologist who breeds horses, alumni of Texas A&M who works in Texas. On the bottom of the screen, we also brought in a cardiologist who's currently a professor at Stanford School of Medicine. He had been a cardiologist for over 30 years. Victor Villegas, who creates music and digital sound and using AI at Oregon State University. And Lapari Marant, who is, a director with Mississippi Community College. The goal is, and as seen, is just providing professionals and providing our students with guidance from professionals who are outside of California, who bring a different insight in relation to their guided pathways. So professionals from the other countries speak their professionals related to our guided pathways, giving them an insight. As a counselor, I might not be able to speak to being a police officer or working in ag, but somebody who's been, for example, a cardiologist for 30 years are going to give their details. I'll give an example. We partnered with Brian Tatalian in regards to Constitution Week, and we had his full class, and we brought a judge from Texas. He was an appellate court judge, and he was talking about his experiences with political science, the politics in Texas. It gave us an insight that otherwise we wouldn't be able to. In addition, it also provided an additional career tool and assessment tools for our students. So whereas where we use Career Coach now, we're able to use these career tools in relation to videos. So the expansive video library. On our Canvas page, we provided links to our workshops that we provided for students, but additional workshops that Pathful Connects provided. So whereas I did a career exploration workshop with a student, I can connect them with these different videos for them to further explore different careers related to their given field. So if I have an undecided student who's trying to learn more about, let's say, becoming a police officer, between a correctional officer, they can watch videos from these 2 different fields and learn more about which is going to be the best fit from professionals in the field. So looking at the numbers as of spring of 23, and this has been going on further as long as the grant's been going on, we've had around 50 different sessions for Pathful Connect. Attendance totals give or take, has been around 350. So unfortunately, due to the grant ending, our final date with this career exploration tool is going to be March 11th, 2025. So piggybacking on Pathful Connect, having spoke with Dr. Vega, having spoke with Adelpha, even having spoken with Capri in regards to our career goals, the big, I think, passion for me, especially with Title V, has allowed me to do is really getting connection. I kind of saw this at Reg to Go. Every year we go out to Reg to Go, we meet with these students, we speak to them for 5 minutes. But they kind of go under the table in terms of what if a student's undecided? What if they don't know what they're doing? What if they don't know their career? So going over through many different Excel sheets, going through many different high schools, in addition to the current students we have now who are labeled as liberal studies, we were able to flag over 500 students, current RTG students and current undecided freshman students. The goal with this was to connect with these students, create outreach, make phone calls, create emails, do whatever we needed to do to get them prepared for the transition here at Wheatley, whether they were here as a current student or transitioning from high school to Wheatley College. So the goal was to connect them to pathways, support services. They need DSPS or then EOPS, SSS. The goal was to make sure they had a strong foundation based on that career exploration. What can we do to get them connected to understand the classes they are taking? As a counselor, the goal was to get them with a one-on-one counseling appointment. If I can get them in, if I can talk to them, I can connect them to the services they need to help them to kind of help that retention rate to make sure they don't drop off their first semester or they're not taking classes they don't need to. Continue in semester support. So I would continuously contact these students. I'd get a hold of them just to create that support that's needed for them to ensure that their transition to Wheatley College is going good. Then I can hand them off to different programs here on campus. So this will be transitioning to the next slide, but this kind of led to development of a program that I'm kind of helping coordinate and kind of working with outreach with, and this would be our MACE program. So the MACE program. So I spoke with Kia and we kind of thought, you know what can we do to be preemptive, to be, to create something prior to them to RTG. So the purpose of this was to create services to our local high schools to ensure students are getting the early college support they need to thrive at Wheatley College. A lot of these students don't have a career center sometimes on their campus. So the goal was to go in and be preemptive to help them explore their career majors, to help them do career assessments, to kind of start that ball rolling, to get them connected to a potential pathway. So when they're being intentional in regards to the types of majors they're putting down their applications, a lot of times students are putting down, oh, I'm just doing it because my friend's doing it, or this seems cool. This gives them information and support to help them make a real good decision in regards to the classes they've been taking. It provides students with career assessments to help students understand their areas of strengths, career exploration careers, explore careers connected to their guided pathways. Services provide students with career assessments, one-on-one advising with a career counselor. So I would do one-on-one with a lot of these students and support with major and career exploration. So currently our partner high schools were Fowler High School and Sanger High School. Potential high schools that we're hoping to kind of work with this coming semester is either Rosie High School and Sanger West. The beautiful thing about this is the buy-in from the high schools. And I think that's why with the 3 workshops that I've already had with these high schools, I've had an attendance rate of over 200 students. So the beautiful thing about what we're doing is we're ensuring our students have an understanding of their majors, but also getting them connected to the services to help them be successful here at Wheatley College.
Okay, so Title V 2020, we have our own set of goals and objectives also for that we are focusing on. Number one was increasing the enrollment of our Hispanic and our low-income students with a student education plan to complete a degree or certificate at the Dinuba Vocational Center. Also to increase completion of information systems or computer science certificates. Um, Obviously, this is a focus on that specific area is information systems and computer sciences. and also to decrease the cost of textbooks for our students, and of course addressing the student population as best as we can. The overall goal was to create this community and college connections for expanded educational opportunities, focusing in Dinuba. And so we've had the privilege of working with Dinuba Unified and with Dinuba High School specifically. We've been very much a part of the community, and we'll go over that in a slide shortly. But this has been an amazing opportunity to really get into a community that is embracing Reedley College to the fullest. And so it's just been my absolute pleasure to work with them. Let's see, on to the next slide. Just to highlight a couple of things, I don't want to go too in depth only because of for the sake of time. I was trying to minimize as many slides as possible. But one of the things we did want to highlight was, of course, including that specific enrollment for our students and for completion. And so, what we were able to do to be the grant was really focus on how can we get the community to complete something that's significant, that can be substantial. And so we were able to create a information systems and web development pathway at Dinuba High School, the first completed pathway plan at the school site. We were very proud of that fact, and this is a 5 class program that is actually led by Nan Garcia. So shout out to Nan for all the work that he's been able to do. We actually took a look at the program he institutionalized over at Parlier High School, and we just implemented the same program at Dinuba. We started it with a very small class in the fall of 22, and then now growing to 25 next school year. But these students have been able to complete their certificate of completion and walk the college graduation. And that really stemmed some movement at Dinuba High School. And now they have a nursing assistant program in which the students are able to walk. We have the general education pathway as well. These are students that Sue sees. When we talk about her work, she is there at Dinuba High School. So we actually have had a counselor integrate, ingrained at the within the actual school site itself, and has been tremendous in establishing this partnership. As you can see, these are just things that we've just needed to do in our communities. And so she's been counseling these students since that time. And I have to share this just so you can understand. Sue was apprehensive at first when I said we're doing a dual enrollment pathway. This is what we're going to do. And so most of you know my background and my history with dual enrollment. And so I thought, no, this is the way we're going to go. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen Sue flourish. She loves the high school. She loves Dinuba. And, at first, I'm going to be honest with you, when we have community partners, it doesn't always go very well. And they're apprehensive. They're leery of the partnership at times. And I know some of the staff at first was just, they're a little bit, they were cold with Sue. But now, they're acknowledging her, they're welcoming, she's part of the team. And that's exactly what we want when we have a partnership. We want that cohesiveness and collaboration and transparency. And so that's just something that she'll cover a little bit in a bit in regards to our partnership with Dinuba and how we're going to continue that. But just wanted to highlight the work there at Dinuba, and shout out to Sue for all that she's done there too. One of the other things, and we'll go over this a little bit more in depth, but just to highlight the cost effectiveness or the decrease of cost for our pathways, and especially for our students. So when you look at computer science, the whole goal was to really bring down that cost for our students. And so as you can see with computer science, students pay under $400 to be as a part of that major. And for information systems, the costs pretty much we're looking at zero cost textbooks, and but technically there's only one that's like 64.99. And so when you look at that, we're really reducing those costs for our students. And so in regards to our highlights, there's various ones, but you can tell that bullet number one, you could probably guess who got us there, and that was Amanda Tainter, got us involved with the AACU Open Ed Institute. We're part of the first cohort for that. And it was just really interesting to learn more about OERs. I always had a general knowledge about it, and have always been an advocate, but it was just great to be able to be part of that and learn more. Also, we established a computer lab at the Dinuba Educational Center based on Objective 1 of the grant. And we were able to we have 18 brand new computer stations there, but actually will now be coming back to Reedley College because Dinuba was able to secure a brand new grant to get even newer computers that will now be located at the brand new high school site. So we will be bringing back the entire lab, but still have a classroom there at Dennyville Vocational Center. So obviously we have our counselor. Sue Vang has been on campus 3 days a week there at Dennyville specifically, and then 2 here. We've been able to establish that website, excuse me, that certificate pathway, that specific work-based learning opportunities for our students. I kind of broke it down there: 29 in IT, 16 for the STEM summer camps, which we've done for the last 3 years. We established a certification center. If you were not aware, we do not have an assessment center anymore. We have a certification center. It's now an official Pearson VUE Center, which opened up on campus and is located adjacent to the FNR building. And we also were able to hire 3 adjunct counselors to support early college during the spring 22 and fall 23 semesters. Okay, Sue?
Thank you. To kind of continue on with some of the highlights that Title V 2020 has done, with the community and college connections for expanded educational opportunities, that we collaborate with the Dinuba Chamber. We've been to several of their ribbon cutting events, from their library remodel to Walmart as well. I've attended their Good Morning networking opportunity, where I met different individuals, organizations, employers there. We also attended their annual Cinco de Mayo celebration. I believe Adelpha actually helped in judging Miss Cinco de Mayo too as well. So a lot of being in the community and representing Ridley College in that way and letting them know. I've met several individuals who are wanting to come back to school, get them connected, and are attending during those events. Not only that, we also collaborate with the Dinuba Unified School District's College and Career Office, where I've been invited to present at their Be Future Ready conference, along with supporting their students in Skills USA, as Adelpha is in a photo there with one of our students who was recognized too. And then I also collaborate with Dinuba High School, again, in developing the information system web development design pathway. I've created after school workshops and focusing on college and careers and financial literacy. I've also helped the college with their seniors in applying for college applications and their annual college knowledge night, and educating parents about Read the College and the opportunities after high school. Again, I've provided counseling appointments to not just the students in my cohort, but other students who are interested in attending Readley or want to know more about careers. I've also helped support the students or seniors at college signing night, and then was invited to their Ed Talk and sharing about how to advocate and ask for help in higher education. And then with all these great things that I've been doing, it's so important in creating that partnership and the relationship that this semester we are starting the transition. So again, collaborating with our early college office and with the Dinuba High School counselor, Susie Jimenez, who is an adjunct counselor. She will be with me at Dinuba High School on the days that I'm not there in serving the students. So we have this in place so that we can continue the momentum and institutionalizing the collaboration with Dinuba High School and the community. And then something else that I also wanted to highlight too, that the Title V 2020 has done, is we hired an open education resource adjunct librarian. And some of the great things that she's done was she designed and taught Continuing Education Learning Academy CELA 308, which is an introduction to open education resource. And that was offered in fall 2023. Also design and instruction of LibreText Adapt course and Studio in fall 2023, and helping some of the instructors. They also assisted with a dual enrollment OER course development with history, art, English, math, and communication instructors, our division. And then the creation of OER video, Read the College Student Impact video. They also responded to faculty questions on OER and assist with any OER research. They also attended a OER conference and webinars to help them and support faculty here. They also research and catalog OER in a repository Airtable transfer Airtable repository to a Canvas shell for faculty accessibility. And this is all thanks to Amanda Tainter and Sarah McHugh, who is the adjunct librarian. So big shout out to them.
Thank you, Sue.
Mhm.
And we're slowly wrapping up because we're keeping cognizant of our time. But the next slide, I'm hoping, I don't know why it's not coming out. We had that one last video that we were going to show, but
Oh,
I don't know why it's not popping up
I don't think,
I'm still seeing it on my Canvas side. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Do you want me to stop share?
Maybe stop the share just so I could see if I could share this one. And I'm
Mhm.
hoping you're able to see it because I think it's kind of funny. That's just me though. Are you able to see that? It says all good things come to an end. I'm hoping you're
Mhm.
able to hear this.
I don't see it, but
No. Okay. Sorry, let me try to,
make sure you share the,
I'm trying to go back here.
is it share the volume or share the sound?
Not sure why it's not going.
You started,
Okay.
yay.
Sorry. Can you see that?
We can see it, but did you share the sound, Adelpha? Because I think you can go into the dots to share the sound or the audio.
I'm pausing it because I can't figure out the audio. But if you know Pitch Perfect, it is the cup song. And just wanted to share that because all good things must come to an end. And you're going to miss us when we're gone. So sorry, look that up on YouTube. But if you know Pitch Perfect, sorry, we weren't able to play it. But it is just an ultimate, signature sign off. Technically, Title 519 will be expiring September 30th of this year due to that extension. And also, Title 5 2020 is due to expire as well this year. If we're lucky, we might be able to extend for a couple of months, but that would be at the most. And so it's just been a wonderful pleasure to work with all of you collaboratively. And what we can do between here and the end of the school year, please let us know. Obviously, we have to look at limitations to the goals,
Mhm.
objectives, and but ultimately we do try to work what we can. So we thank you so much for being here today. If you've got any questions, we'll stay on.
Yes, thank you everyone for attending.